Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps intelligence agency has announced that it allegedly foiled what it describes as a major terror and espionage plot orchestrated by 10 foreign spy services. According to the IRGC, the network of 10 countries was involved in fueling unrest and organizing chaos during the recent wave of anti-government protests that swept across multiple Iranian cities. A report from Press TV on January 26 quoted IRGC officials as saying that the organization had uncovered and disrupted extensive PSYOPs operations, which it claimed were part of a U.S. Israeli coordinated plot. Iranian officials further asserted that the alleged espionage campaign had been conceived in the aftermath of the 12-day war of June 2025, a period they describe as the catalyst for intensified foreign pressure against Tehran. IRGC intelligence organization statement said, quote, "The enemy's command room was formed immediately after the 12-day war with the participation of 10 hostile intelligence services. The plan was aimed at fomenting internal riots coupled with foreign intervention to pose an existential threat against the Islamic Republic. The scheme was defeated thanks to the vigilance of Iranian security forces and the collaboration of the people." The IRGC intelligence organization arrested 735 individuals affiliated with anti-security networks, summoned 11,000 vulnerable people, confiscated 743 unauthorized firearms, and identified 46 individuals linked to foreign services. Foreign political and security officials directly supported the enemy's measures, including the spread of violence and terrorists' exploitation of public gatherings, the use of social media platforms to instigate violence, and the deployment of organized thugs and criminals as part of a plot to raise the number of fatalities among both people and security forces. The IRGC intelligence arm seeks to infiltrate the communication networks of the rioters, dominate border terrorist networks, use deceived elements for counterinfiltration, and continue to identify and decisively confront networks that caused the riots." Unquote. Meanwhile, reports suggest that the United States has laid out a list of demands intended to prevent the outbreak of military action against Iran, reflecting Washington's attempt to pressure Tehran through diplomacy. A spokesperson for the U.S. State Department revealed the details of these demands to Iran International on January 26, emphasizing that the proposals remain non-negotiable prerequisites for de-escalation. Among the listed conditions are Iran's complete forfeiture of its nuclear development plans, significant curbs on its expanding missile programs, and the abandonment of support for regional proxy groups. On that same day, President Donald Trump told Axios that the Iran situation is in flux, describing the moment as unpredictable following his order to deploy a big armada of American naval forces. "They want to make a deal, I know so," Trump asserted, claiming Tehran has shown tentative signs of interest in negotiating despite escalating military posturing on both sides. Trump's remarks followed confirmation from U.S. Central Command that the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group had arrived in the Middle East, reinforcing American presence near Iranian waters. However, intelligence reports indicate that Iran has sought to counter Washington's deployment by mobilizing its own undersea fleet in a show of deterrence. Iranian sources reportedly claim the country has stationed several submarines inside the Strait of Hormuz, an effort to shadow and challenge the U.S. Navy's operations. The underwater fleet includes Fateh-class semi-heavy attack submarines and Ghadir-class midget submarines, both capable of operating stealthily in coastal waters to deny access to foreign forces. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign ministry issued a warning to America's Arab allies, cautioning them against supporting the ongoing U.S. carrier deployment in regional waters. In a statement later broadcast by state media, the ministry declared that the presence of U.S. warships will not affect the nation's resolve, asserting that Iran will remain defiant in the face of external pressure.
The arrival of that U.S. Navy warship will not affect Iran's resolute will and determination to defend the nation. We possess both this will and the full capability to defend Iran, relying on our people and the experience gained over decades. Deployment of forces to our region and the issuing of threats contravene all principles of international law. Unfortunately, we know the American side disregards these principles, which are designed to protect the entire international community and regional security. If these principles are violated, the ensuing insecurity will undoubtedly impact everyone. The fact that an official at this level admits to committing a crime against humanity because the U.S. sanctions against the Iranian people based on any standard you consider, constitute a crime against humanity due to the blatant violation of the rights of Iranian citizens. These are documents that will certainly be gathered. These are testimonies, signs, evidence to prove both America's animosity towards every Iranian and also documents that will be used in any competent court to hold American parties accountable. Countries in the region are well aware that any insecurity in the region concerning U.S.-Iran tensions is not only aimed at Iran, it is a contagious insecurity. This is why there is a common concern among countries in the region, and fundamentally, any country that respects peace, international security, and international law must definitely take a clear position against the threats posed by the United States against other countries. The point about Europeans deserve injustice that Dr. Araki raised in Ex Post was that European parties should realize that applying double standards in relation to the principles and foundations of the UN Charter will harm themselves. They may be able to secure interest for a while through these double standards, but ultimately, the consequences of their actions will affect them. As it happened, their silence regarding many issues that occurred in our region in Iran, including nuclear-related discussions, has, in a way, led to the accumulation of law-breaking.